Okay, so I can get behind Dorothy wanting to be a pop star, Queen Latifah's Auntie Em is no problem, all the Muppets playing all those roles, A-okay by me. Why is Toto a prawn?
Could someone spot me?
Disney presents an all-new Muppet movie.
Just follow this road to Emerald City.
The Muppets Wizard of Oz.
No. No. It didn't work. I can't. No. It's such a good example for why they don't still do those. You know, the Treasure Island, Christmas Carol were both the 90s. This, even in the noughties, didn't work for any number of reasons. And I think if they did a Muppets book adaptation film now, it still wouldn't work for the same kind of reasons. I think there was a time and a place for it. It was perfect. They are still perfect, those ones. But it's not going to work anymore. And that actually hit me and hurt me harder than I expected it to. So Dorothy, played by Ashanti. Who? Yeah, just early noughties people that it didn't work out. Why? Because, well, this probably is most of the reason why it didn't work out for her. She's just an angry teenager who wants to go off and become a star, so that's relatable. And she doesn't get along with her Auntie Em, but she's played by Queen Latifah, so you respect that damn woman, Dorothy. She goes back into the house after making it to the storm shelter during a tornado. She goes from the storm shelter, while the tornado is there, back into the house to save her pet, prawn. And then she gets swept away to Oz, where the prawn becomes sentient and very horny. All of the munchkins are rats, the songs are uninspired, and the entire thing is just dragged out. Seriously, that doing this was one thing, making it a full 100-minute, like as long as the original Wizard of Oz, they could have shaved 15-20 minutes off that runtime so easily. I think there are a few reasons that this feels completely. One of them is that the other Muppets adaptations were very specific in why they worked. One had Michael Keaton, who acted like everyone around him was an actor. Was just an actor. The same as him. And the other had Tim Curry, who acted like he was a Muppet, and therefore everyone around was the same as him. And those are two very specific examples of striking gold with one of these. And it wasn't the same here. And I don't think Ashanti is like a really bad actor or anything. It's just that the entire time she's acting like quite condescendingly towards the Muppets as if they're like children or something. And it's like she's a celebrity cameo for 5 minutes on Sesame Street. Not as if these are the actors she is in an actual film with. You know what I mean? So it made the whole thing quite stilted and awkward to begin with. And the other major thing I have with it is The Muppets Christmas Carol is a musical. It is a phenomenal musical. I love it. Every year, Christmas Eve goes on, right? That wasn't a musical to begin with. And neither was the Treasure Island. They did like a song in Treasure Island. It wasn't a musical though, right? They made this into a musical, but made all original songs. Like, The Wizard of Oz already has songs. They're already great. None of them are in this, but it's still a musical. Do you see how that could be really bad? There are any number of CGI monstrosities. When they go to the wizard and they try to do... That was perhaps some of the worst stuff that the naughties did to cinema. I know there was a lot of bad CGI around in 2005, but come on now. That giant CGI woman that turns into a giant CGI chicken... That was just a horror film. I just don't understand anything behind this entire thing. It was such a bad choice as well. Why Wizard of Oz when Christmas Carol and Treasure Island have had film adaptations that aren't the Muppets ones, but they don't have like a definitive one. You know, and that's why there was a gap for the Muppets to slide in there and do their own version. Wizard of Oz really only has one thing, and it's iconic, and you can't... I feel like you can't do that as well. As like an episode of The Muppet Show, you could do this parody. As a full film, no. So I'm giving the most weirdly horny that puppets have been since Team America 2 stars. They should have just had this perfect boom, boom, boom. This should have been it, the trilogy of Muppet book adaptation. It hurts, but they were also weirdly horny that it had none of the charm of those films. Tim Curry was pretty horny and Muppet. That's not important. Subscribe if you're ready to die on the hill that The Muppets Christmas Carol is the best Christmas movie of all.